all this problem water was flooding the building up here. And thanks to our drainage system, it's now being delivered and let go where it's no longer a problem. You may recognize Carson's property out here. I've done a bunch of stuff out here over the years helping him out, and he's well on his way to homesteading this property. We did pour the slab, I guess like a summer ago or so, and he's got his building all finished up and everything, and he started noticing that it was flooding. And so I'm going to use this video, since hindsight is 50-50, as they say. I'm going to use this video to talk about some things and maybe learn some lessons. But you're going to see me do a few different things that I've never done before on my channel. And in this situation, Carson had already come up with a plan that he wanted to execute. And so I was just pretty much helping him out here. I didn't charge him anything for this. And so you're going to see a few things that I've never done before. And interestingly, we're going to be able to talk about at the very end of part 2 why I don't do things the way that you're about to see me do them, even though Carson wanted me to do them, and I tried to talk him out of it, but he had a pretty good idea of what he wanted, and that's what we gave him on this. And so we're gonna talk, and there's the building. So we poured the slab and we poured the apron, and that was like a summer or two ago. And he's been hard at work out here, working on this beautiful, beautiful building. He's got all his equipment and everything out here. And oh, here you can see the back of the building. And when we first were doing the grading here, I was like, Carson, you need more gravel, you need more gravel. And he was like, he'd pulled so much gravel in here. He's like, I'm done. I'm not pulling any more gravel in here. I've already spent a ton of money on gravel. And so I kind of dropped it, but I did tell him that this slab needed to be higher. And so we went ahead and poured the slab. I'll put a link to that video of us pouring the slab, which I thought was a pretty cool video from a while ago. And you can see a little bit of the lay of the land here around the building. And so I've got some footage too of where this is just turning into a huge mess when it rains. So on this day, we are getting started on the drainage system that Carson wants to do. I hope you all can sit back and enjoy this extra long 2-part video where we talk about a bunch of different things. This is Sean with Gate City. I'm back out here at Carson's property, and he has almost finished with his garage here, but the garage is flooding. And so I mentioned this to him before we even poured the slab, that we needed to do something back here. But I wanted to bring this slab up, but he didn't want to. He was already buying a ton of gravel, so he didn't want to buy any more gravel. And so what's happening is the water's just coming right across, going right through and out the front door. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to put a French drain across here, and maybe on the other side too, and then run it out to the ditch, which will flow into the neighbor's pond. So we've got pretty good fall down through here. We just need to get the water out of this area. Now take a look here. So we're sloping pretty good. The slab should have been higher. And I see this all the time especially with garages, where they just don't put them high enough, and there's tons of problems right away. So that's what we're working on today. Carson says we got a river of water coming through here, so we want to do a really high capacity French drain. And look at what he's got over here. This is 8-inch PVC. Look at this. Look at these fittings. Look at that 45. So, you want to tell us what we got going on, Carson?
Well, Sean warned me. He said that I would have water problems when I chose this location for the building, and he was right. But we got about 6 inches of rain twice this year, and water got into the building and it turned into a small river. And so we're gonna do what we can to at least try and keep the water from getting in the building and maybe a little bit more.
So where's the water coming from?
Well, it's hard to tell, but up here you got a high hill, and then my neighbor over here, they're all higher up than we are, so everybody's water see how deep it is on my shoe. See this. But everybody's runoff. But I got two neighbors runoff. It all comes this direction to go to my pond and then my other neighbor's pond. And,
okay, so there's not really one place that the water's coming from, it's just coming from everywhere?
Well, it's kind of a stream. It's hard to tell, but it just kind of comes right straight through here like a beeline.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I mean, it really is like a small river.
Okay.
And that.
So we got to do some pretty serious work here to protect the building. So we're going to do a really high capacity French drain. I'm going to try to cut it with the mini skid, which will give us a 48-inch trench. So when it comes to French drains, more is better. More gravel, more buffering capacity. And then we should be able to take it that way. And you want to take it this way too, right?
Yeah. That's the way the water's kind of wanting to go. And it kind of pulls up here before it heads downhill, so that's why I was thinking the catch basin would be a good addition to the French drain system.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we'll start cutting with the mini skid. And where do you want to put the extra dirt?
I can move the pipes and move them trees.
I think those cedars are okay. Maybe we could just move the pipes and put it up there out of the way.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I did bring my mini excavator with the 3-foot trenching bucket as well, but we've got so much dirt to pull out of here. I think the mini is going to be way faster, the mini skid with the 48-inch bucket. So I think I want to come in from this side and start digging here, and then I want to come in from this side and start digging here. So that's what I'm going to get started with. And Carson's moving those giant 8-inch PVCs, so I guess I'm just going to pile the dirt up for later usage. When we were talking about digging out this French drain, what I really wanted to do was to take the dirt that we're taking out of here, I wanted to drop it on the other side of the fence here. And as we dig a trench right along here, we would be building up a berm on this side. And so I really tried to get Carson to let me do that, but he didn't want to because he really wanted all this surface water to get into the pipe via the catch basin and the French drain, and then be contained within the pipe going around the building. And so even though I wanted to keep this water heading in this direction and away from the building with a berm right here, he didn't want to do that. And so we kind of abandoned that idea. But you're going to see coming up later in the video that there's going to be a berm here. Okay, that's about 25 minutes of digging there. And now we want to start to curve here, but we're getting kind of close to this. I think that's a shagbark hickory. But anyway, so I'm gonna switch to the Mini X with the trenching bucket. We're also hitting a pretty big root right there, so I want to try to stay away from that hickory tree. So far so good. It's coming along pretty good. I might clean this up a little bit too, where it's kind of at an angle with the bucket. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably pile the dirt right here and then have you just move it over there.
Okay.
Think you can handle that?
I'll do my best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like about right there maybe.
All right. We're laying out where the catch basin is going to go, and Carson got a 2 foot by 2 foot catch basin, a pretty large one. And I want you to pause the video right here, go back and watch the other 304 videos on my channel, and let me know in the comments if I've ever placed a catch basin this close to a building before. So go watch all those videos and comment below. I'll wait. Okay, so you know that I've never placed a catch basin this close to a building. I don't like doing this. The reason is because the catch basin needs to be the low point to catch the water, and you don't ever want the low point next to the building. But in this case, we did not have permission from the neighboring landowner to do any regrading on the top, or maybe make a swale or a berm on the back, anything like that. So we really had to deal with the water once it was here, even though I wasn't loving it. And so at the very end of this video, we'll talk about why this was not the best place to put this catch basin. I also wanted to point out that Carson didn't pay anything for this drainage system, so I didn't have as much say in how it was done. Really, he had a pretty good idea of what he wanted, and so I was just kind of over there helping him out.
Backfill also.
Yeah. All right, I just dug this catch basin, but what I failed to do was to cut this at an angle. So I'm going to try to get the mini skid in here. I want this to be a continual slope away and into the French drain. Look at what it's doing now. So I want to try to cut this at an angle here. So let's see how we do. Okay, Carson got the fabric laid in here, and what I want to do now is I want to get this out of the way before we start bringing gravel in here. I don't want to get our gravel contaminated. And then if you take a look at this whole area right through here is high, and so I really want to bring this down a little bit. So I want to do my digging before we start bringing clean gravel in here. So let me see if I can get this out of here and get this cut down a little bit. What's that?
Only have to have enough to cover the pipe?
Yeah, it'll be going like this. Okay. So we want the low point to be away from the building instead of right now the building's low. On this side of the building, I want to cut down and just get a little bit of a grade away from the building. So a little bit of a swale, and maybe even pile some up against the building there and just get it sloping away from the building on its way down the hill. Okay, I got this dug down a little bit. I'm still not super happy with it. I would like a little bit more aggressive slope away, but it's looking a lot better than it was. Good enough that we can get our pipe going here, and then we can figure that out later. So Carson is grabbing a scoop of gravel. We're going to drop it right here-ish, and then the gravel is what's going to level out our pipe. So I'm not too worried about this fabric here. It's going to get run over a bunch of times. This one right here though, I want it pretty close to where it wants to be, so when it comes over here. There. All right. Which way to the hole space?
I think it's what, 5 and 7.
Yep. You know why?
Because you said so.
Because the water, you would think they would face up so the water will fall in the pipe, but the water will be flooding from up.
Oh yeah.
So that way it gets into the pipe, and the 12 o'clock is perfectly smooth. So the pipe will be, the water will be rushing in the holes. It'll find a path of least resistance out, which makes more room for more water. These things are, they're crazy how well they work. Look at that.
It's good. Good.
Dead money.
Good. Gravel gods are with us.
The gravel gods.
Gotta be a thing. So, I mean, how far apart is like one go here, one goes here? Or?
Yeah, just whatever.
Okay.
So I want my holes where I want them. Check this thing, because it's where I want it, so it's level. So when we go to glue it, we want to put it back to level.
Okay.
Go ahead. And I'm going to hold the pipe and keep it. Go ahead. And we're not in the business of saving glue. So I like to gob it on. This is a glue and primer in one. Blue glue, they call it. All right. All right. Now check your level. There you go. Look good?
Yeah.
If anything, the bubble should be on that side, touching that bar a little bit. No, other way. Okay, that's close enough. All right. Yep. I mean, that kind of wiggle we have in the pipe.
Oh.
So I think you're level on the
Pretty
pipe. Yeah. So now let's just glue our nipple in. Honestly, code says you don't even have to glue these pipes. Just push them together. But I don't know why anybody would build down to code. Okay. So that's looking really good. Now that's barely, I mean, that's pretty much level. I'm okay with that. If anything, I could go up to a 16th down of a bubble down. Huh?
Or up in the middle.
Yep. All right, so we're at the end of our 20-foot stick here, and I want to install this is a double clean out, or you may hear it called a double L. This is one of my favorite fittings. And so what that allows you to do is go either way with your clean out. And so we'll put a vented, either a female or a male adapter, depending on how high we are. So it might actually be a female, I'm not sure. So we made sure our pipe was level across here and level across here. And so when we install these guys, we want to make sure they're level across there before the glue sets. Oh, hang on a sec. Go ahead. Good. And you're pushed all the way in. Looks good.
Not bad for my first time.
Yeah, not bad.
Second time if the other end counts.
There you go. More glue is better. Oh, too much. Oh, not enough.
Just right.
Yep. As long as Carson's happy, we'll be happy.
Let me call you back. We're right in.
We just got this piece pretty much settled where we want it, and so now by leaving this nipple in this fitting, this Y, that will tell us where the angle wants to be once we glue it up. All right, go ahead and send it. That's okay. All right, there it is. Holes feel good. And that is now our angle, and then we can take that short nipple out of there.
Oh, take that out?
Yep, it's fine right now, but whenever we're ready to, we can take it out.
Okay.
So now we just need to hook these two up and get this pipe leveled out and cut. All right, there's our last piece. We're just barely breaking in the right direction. And so our clean out right there is a high point, going breaking that way and breaking that way. So we'll get our 45 and get this connected. Then we can start setting some gravel just in piles on this to stabilize it.
Have a little extra.
Yeah.
45.
Yeah, good job. Here, let me show you. See this little guy right here? I know it doesn't look like much, but it does make a hell of a difference. Just giving yourself a little bit of a nipple. You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Gobber on there. There you go. Go, go. Oh, short, not quite that much. That's why I have blue shirts. Can you, hang on. Can you, yeah, that'll work. We need to bend, there it goes. All right. Okay, that's falling. So if this one's right, then we're good.
We done something right.
This one's going the wrong way, so we'll lift that up just a little bit. And I mean, we're literally just like over there. Okay, we got the pipe where we want it, so we're just barely breaking there. We're barely breaking there as well. So that looks really good. And same thing over here. We're barely breaking over here. And same thing over here. So the pipe, these French drain pipes want to be pretty much level. The reason is because the water will flood in the trench level. And so if the pipe was like diving down, you'd only catch water where it was flooding up. So we got the pipe where we want it. So now Carson's going to bring some gravel in here and we'll just drop it on it to stabilize the pipe.
Go ahead.
Drop it. Go get another one if you would. Okay, now if we move our box out of the way, we can just slide this pipe straight and then that'll be our guide.
You should have got 10 in.
Yeah. Look pretty good? Okay, hold it right there. All right, get that pipe out of my way. Okay, I got this trench dug for our 8-inch pipe. So let me see if I can get you down in there.
Like in Star Wars when it's going through the Death Star.
Yep. So hopefully that came out. But anyway, we're gonna get our 4-inch pipe in here and then get our 8-inch in. So that's what we're working on now.
Looking fantastic.
We're gonna be down a little bit right here because we're up a little bit high. See that?
Yeah.
There's level right there.
That look pretty good.
I mean, our pipe was here. I'd go right there. Right where that smear is, right? There's where we wanted it to be. But that's right there. Right where my smear is. So you want this edge on the smear, but you want it on the center, right there. You want to do it or do you want me to? Try to keep it at the same angle the pipe's going to be. Hang on a sec.
Like that.
Yeah, go for it. Wallow it a little bit.
It's bottomed out on the. Where's the sawzall? I have to cut it like this way. Cause that's bottomed out in the
bit.
Yeah.
Slide it in. And
That
then,
way.
yep. It's going to be a tight fit too, so stand right there. Ooh, look at that. Uh-oh. Our pipe must, or our box must be closer this way.
Oh, well, we can move back.
Yeah. Other jobs we can cut some corners, but not on this one.
Oh, what are you talking about? We cut a corner.
That's the joke. All right, let's do it. When I had you watch my previous 304 videos, I should have asked you to note if I had ever dumped or ended a pipe in a catch basin like this. And so this configuration, this 4-inch pipe is ending in this catch basin, and then a new 8-inch pipe is going to start from that. And so you've never seen me do this before. The reason is I like to keep water that's in a pipe. But Carson didn't want to spend the money on the extra fittings to put the 4-inch pipe into the 8-inch pipe. So we're going to end up ending 2 4-inch pipes in this catch basin. And you're going to see at the end of part 2 that this drainage system failed to keep up with a really heavy rain coming up later. All right, we're getting this catch basin bedded and compacted really well. I wanted to show you before we got too far though. We've got a full bubble here going into the catch basin. We've got a full bubble coming out of here. And then we've got our pipe, which is just barely breaking the way it's supposed to in our French drain. So this is all flat. Once we reach here, we're at a full bubble, so it'll drain really well. This was definitely an interesting drainage job using that big 8-inch pipe and that gigantic 2-foot by 2-foot drainage basin. And Carson had designed this system, and we basically gave him what he wanted with that. We had poured the slab out there a few years ago, and I'll put a link to that video in the description where you can check that out. But Carson's been busy out there. He got his building built up. Everything's been good, but it has been flooding pretty badly. And so you saw that in the footage. And so he asked me if I'd come over there and help him with installing his drainage system, and yes, I did that. I did offer some advice, but he pretty much had what he wanted in mind, and so that's what we gave him. And I talked to him a little bit about that and some of the changes we made since we did the work, and he was all for using this as a learning experience. So if you've watched my channel for a while and you know why I don't do things the way we did them in this video, comment below and let others know. I'll also talk about that at the end of part 2, which will be coming up soon. But I've got some pretty incredible footage at the end of part 2. So we've been doing some more. He's been starting his house build out there, so I've got some more videos coming up. So I wanted to get caught back up and get you all up to date with what's going on out there. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. This is Sean. I'd like to thank you again for watching this first part of this series, and I will put a link to the part 2 right here for you. So that'll be coming up very shortly. All right, thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next one.